Hello everybody, this is my video essay about media grammar for CMN 696, and today I'm going to be talking about Joshua Meyerowitz articles about media literacies, and then his second article that had to deal with paraprosemics and paraimpressions. The first one was based off of Taylor Hall's concept of prosemics, and then the second one of paraimpressions was based off of Erving Goffman's paraimpressionment. So I'll begin first with the media literacies. I'll just quickly go over this. And what I was talking about in this article was how the framing and the audio and the height of the camera and whatnot and the backgrounds and stuff can all lead to how it can create a parasocial relationship with that person on the television that he was studying, or the medium that he was studying. But this also works too with what we've been talking about with YouTube and whatnot. Also, the clarity of audio and other such production elements and whatnot all play a factor in how a video will be perceived and how it will either help or break the parasocial relationships you have with somebody. But the big part he was talking about mostly was in this second article that had to do with paraprosemics and paraimpressions. So I'll start off first what prosemics are. And it's a concept developed by Taylor Hall, and what this means is that there's four distances in which interaction happens. And so the first one is public distance, which is just the regular distance you are from people in the public walking by or whatnot, not really interacting at all. The second one is social distance, which is like within talking distance of people. So if you see somebody on the street or whatnot, or just talking to somebody in general, there's a certain space that you are away from them. The next one up is personal distance, which is what you'd use with your friends or family members and talking to them. And this could be like hugging or whatnot, handshakes, and other such activities. And then the last one is intimate distance, which is like touching, kissing, and whatnot, whispering to each other in your ears. So what Joshua Meyerowitz does with this is he creates it into a media-based concept, in saying that in the framing and such that he's talking about in the literacies, that the further you are away from somebody determines how close you are to that person. So when he was talking about television in his articles, he's saying the closer you are to a person, the more personal you are with them, compared to how far away you were. And we talked about this in YouTube, and how many YouTubers, like myself right now, are usually close up to the camera, so it feels like you're in a, what would you say, Hall would call a social distance from each other. If I got closer, such as like this, it'd probably be more personal, whatnot. So that's basically what he was talking about in that section. And when we talk about Goffman's impression management, Goffman said that this is, as he defines, a goal-directed conscious or subconscious process in which people attempt to influence the perceptions of other people about a person, object, or event. They do so by regulating and controlling information and social interaction. It is usually used synonymously with self-presentation. So that's basically what that means. It's basically how you come off to a person and how you want the other person to see you. So relating this to media, Meyerowitz says that this also applies in paraimpressions, which is in media content, the person in it is usually trying to come off a certain way to the audience or people watching. In paraimpressions, Goffman also talks about, in his impression management, about the front and back region, and this is also present as well in paraimpressions, as Meyerowitz says. And but the front region is the way you want to be seen, like I've been talking about before, and the back region is what you don't want people to see. Bring this to the prosemics and paraprosemics. There's a certain distance usually that you'll have the front region, and that's usually the public or mostly the social distance. And then the way possibly might be able to see the back region is if you're in an intimate relationship, which you don't really get in with para impressions, since you aren't really intimate with the subject that's on it. So I'm going to talk about a little how this relates to my parasocial relationship we've been talking about with Achievement Hunter. So I'm going to transition to a video right here and talk about a little more and talk about the media grammar and the distance you are, the prosthetics, and you know, the way the characters come off to the viewer, which is the impression management. So I'm going to transfer over to that now. So as you can see, you are at the eye level of actually standing, which is in the office with these characters. You'll tell also that the characters are presenting their front readings, usually how they are. They come up as comedians or whatnot. They all work there. The frame is, you know, their office, so it's not too special. Makes it probably feel more authentic that way.
They're also wearing camouflage too.
So you can see the audio is pretty good, and you can see this character, Ray, is holding a microphone. That's the usual microphones. So I'll just do this a little bit and talk more about it.
Don't fall asleep. I figured Michael, I'm from Texas. Michael's been married into Texas now. So let's do that both. I can bring some excitement out of Roll on Jeff's machine.
Of course. He's Jeffrey.
Never forget.
So you can see you're following behind characters, kind of like you're able to move around in the office. See what's the most interesting thing, which is something more unique. You don't see this on many YouTube channels.
Dude, shout out to Bella.
The cameraman will be you're actually talking to other characters. It's that parasocial relationship, and since you are from the characters, is, you know, what Goffman would say is the social distance. You're not too close, you're not too far. You know, you can kind of see everybody look like they're talking about you. So as you can see in those videos versus videos, they're more personal, you're more close to the characters. So in this next section, I'm going to talk about the other types of videos they have. What the Let's Play video in this one. Okay, so I'm going to talk about a little bit about their Let's Play videos and how these are a little different. First off, these videos do not have any face cams or whatever. It's just straight gameplay video. What I like about videos, though, is that it's mostly social commentary, and a lot of other fans of these videos like that as well. So my concepts about media grammar don't really take that much, are not really present in these types of videos, but there is still a way that you kind of feel that you're actually immersed there with them. It's kind of like you're watching everybody's screen at once, and also hearing what they're saying as well. So I'm going to transition to this video right here, and you'll be able to see what I'm talking about with this. So you can see there's screens of the gameplay that's going on. This character is Michael, as we saw in the last video we just watched. And it's mostly just them talking amongst each other. So it kind of feels like you don't see their faces or anything, but you hear their voices. And I don't know, it's kind of like you're in the conversation with them. I guess the best way would be to say that.
I like you can immediately say Dan's never had cracks. Because that means you know the list of what he has had.
So you can see they're just joking with each other and whatnot. Makes you, you know, humor's a good way to make you feel welcome and whatnot. Something that was talked about in the para impressions and para prosthetics sections. So you can kind of see how the characters want to come off as, you know, comedians and whatnot. Just the impression. Not really. A lot of it's just the front region. Not much of it is the back region.
Oh my god.
Jack is shattering his chair.
So there are things that happen outside of the video, which I guess kind of takes away from, you know, the framing and feeling more immersed since you're not able to see that. Sometimes they might have a face cam or camera that shows that, but usually not. And these videos are usually not edited. I forgot to say that before. A lot of their videos actually aren't edited that much. Usually for some it's like language or whatnot, it'll sometimes be edited for that. But just the only editing really is just jumping from screen to screen. It's usually the audio's continuous all the way throughout, and these videos usually last for like an hour or so. Maybe sometimes even less, like 30 minutes to an hour, probably the best. But that's basically a taste of what those videos are like. So they're just basically games with all of them together, playing a game. So in this next section, I'll talk about one of their videos, which is some really different compared to their other two, the Let's Play, the Go videos, and the Versus videos. The Go and Versus videos are basically the same, so I'm just going to leave the Versus video in there because no point in going over it again. So lastly, I'll talk about their different video, or type of video, I should say. This is called AWU, and okay, so in these videos, which are called Achievement Hunter Weekly Updates for AWU videos, the setup's a little different in the way that it kind of looks like a news report type of video. The character usually has a microphone, and sometimes the other characters will be joking around or whatnot, which makes it seem kind of different from a news report type of video. But videos, it's mostly just the framing is stationary, one place. The characters are usually directly talking to the camera and basically going over information about different games and events that are going on the website Rooster Teeth, which is the parent company of. So I'll play a little bit of these videos, and you can see what I'm talking about in these videos as well.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Jeff from Achievement Hunter. And welcome to AWU.
So I guess stationary camera angle. A lot of these videos contain videos of fans contribute to it.
Whoa. That's what he's gonna sound like.
So you can see a lot of jump cutting and what the most edited out of all of them.
Check out the shirt. It's Jeff and me. I'm kind of fat. It's Team Soul Victor from that shitty Legend Temple. I am fat. It's Jeff.
So these are basically how the videos are usually set up. It's mostly them just trying to be comedian or being comedic and advertising shirts or merchandise or whatever for their store, and then other games and stuff that are coming up the week and events as well.
And I'm like, oh Jeff, like Pringles.
So basically how those I don't really have much else to say about these videos. Is each contain editing techniques and techniques to make the viewer feel more. So, thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.